Hello everybody and welcome back to our modelled writing video. So if you've been here before, then you will know how it works with our videos, but today we are going to look at two task 2 type questions. So those are the essay style questions and you will get 40 minutes to plan and write these questions. And the examiners are looking for a minimum of 250 words for these ones. So that's what we'll look at today. So if you are in the preparation stage of maybe you have your IELTS exam coming up, maybe you just want a bit more information on the topics of today, or just a bit more practice, then you're in the right place. And we will be going through two questions, two different types of questions today. And we'll be talking through it and doing the write-up as if we were in the exam. So really good practice for you today. Okay, well, let's get started then. And we are going to look at the first topic, which is all about food waste. So this could come up in the exam, this topic, and we'll talk about how we'll approach this one. First, let's look at the question. Nowadays, people waste a lot of food that was brought from shops and restaurants. Why do you think this is the case? And what can be done to reduce the amount of food that is wasted? Okay then, so we have an interesting question. Let's talk about the different ways to approach this question. So instantly I'm thinking, okay, we have one question here and a second question there. So my initial thought would be to approach this as a two-part question, as we normally would approach those, where we tackle one question in the first main body and then tackle the next question in the second main body. However, there is another thought that comes to mind. We've got a problem and a solution type of question as well. And we've looked at these in previous videos, but we have a certain strategy that we use to approach those questions, where we have a topic sentence, an example, then a solution and a result, all in the same paragraph. And we mix and match, but we sort of intertwine them in the paragraphs together. You might have seen us do that before. So this could also be approached like a problem solution question. Why do you think this is the case? Or what are the reasons for this? A cause, a reason, and then what are the ways that this can be reduced? In other words, what are some solutions to this problem? So in this situation, if I was faced with this in the exam, I would think about the two possible options and weigh it up really and think, okay, well, I can approach these in two different ways. However, I think for this one, I'm going to stick with the two-part question just for simplicity. I think we don't want to overcomplicate this for ourselves, and there are two questions there, so let's approach this with the two question way of framing our answers. Right, so watch out for these sneaky questions that come up, which could be two different types. It's quite common for this to happen, and yes, we will think about this today. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to the topic then, now that we've understood how to answer the question, because that's the big part of the points, how have we answered the question appropriately? So that's a definitely one to think about. Now let's think of the topic. Okay, what are we actually talking about today? So nowadays, people waste a lot of food. That's what we're thinking about food waste that was brought from shops and restaurants. Okay, so that's the issue. And then the first question is, why is that the case? And then the second question is, what can be done to reduce the amount of food that is wasted? Alrighty, so let's now head, we've got the question here again. Let's head into our plan, because this is a really important stage of the IELTS writing, our plan. This will help us stay on track. This it will be harder to waver, to go off topic, which is important. We want to stay on track and have a really clear, well-developed essay. All right then, so why do you think this is the case? That people waste a lot of food brought from shops. Let's have a look. Okay. And restaurants as well. Let's not forget that. So let's have a think. So the things that are springing to my mind are the fact that people have less time to perhaps go out and do, the shopping. It's here and there. People tend to buy in bulk, so maybe bulk shopping, because everybody is, more people are working and there's little free time. Perhaps there's an increase in online shopping as well. That's not tackling the restaurant option, but we'll get onto that. Let's think about the shops first. So bulk shopping, online shopping. This leads to maybe food going off quicker than it would have done in the past. When we dine out, when we go to restaurants, dining out leads to maybe trying new things, over ordering, perhaps, and it's almost in sort of a cultural thing to order lots of things. Maybe there are perhaps bigger portion sizes as well, so that can all lead to more food waste. We're always tying it back to the question, why is this wasting a lot of food? Okay, so that's a lot of ideas for the first paragraph, which tackles the first question here. So let's now go to the second question. What can be done to reduce the amount of food that is wasted? Okay, the first thing that comes to mind for me is perhaps education. We could use awareness campaigns. The government could be on board with that, showing that how we live is not sustainable, and there are other people where they are suffering with food shortages and famine and things like this. So that could be done. Spread awareness, perhaps through social media as well. That can be tied in there. And perhaps education again could be linked with, at school or even at work, there could be more financial information and education on how to budget, perhaps a free course online or something like this. More education on budgeting as well, to make a shift with that. Okay, so we've got a lot of ideas here and we've jotted them all down into our plan, which is going to be invaluable. So in the conclusion then, we can restate what we are being asked. So why is this a problem? Interesting here, we're not being asked, you might think, this is an opinion question. Well, it's not explicitly. We are just going to be stating the reasons and the possible solutions. Opinion is not needed for this question. So in the conclusion then, we will just say many reasons why, and then we'll restate what we put in the main body, and possible ways to reduce, and we'll list a few examples that we've talked about there. All right then, and don't worry about the plan. We're just making notes, so it doesn't need to be perfect. We're not expected to write full sentences. You won't be marked on your plan, so don't worry about that. Okay then, so we've got a good outline for what we want to achieve with our essay. So I think it's time to go to the write-up now and actually put it all together. Okay, so you might be thinking, where do I start with this essay? Well, we will start with paraphrasing this sentence here. Nowadays, people waste a lot of food that was brought from shops and restaurants. So we want to change that and put that into our own words. Okay. So nowadays we could say, in today's world, comma, people waste a lot of food that was brought from shops and restaurants. We could say something like throwing away perishables like food is from difficult to paraphrase shops and restaurants from different places is a maybe pervasive problem, perhaps. In today's world, throwing away perishables like food from different places is a pervasive problem. Or maybe we could do better than different places. Throwing away perishables like food from supermarkets, maybe, and restaurants. Maybe we could say cafes. Is a pervasive problem. Okay. Not quite a cafes is a funny one. It doesn't completely match with restaurants, but we are trying to paraphrase here, but we want to not lose the meaning, so it's a balance to strike, definitely. We might come back to this. Okay, so now we want to tell the reader, the examiner, what we're going to do in our essay. So this essay will discuss why, or the reasons why this is taking place, or why this is taking place, and what possible solutions there are to help maybe eradicate or eradicate this problem. Oh. And so we're always checking spelling as we're going along as well. Okay, let's read this back. In today's world, throwing away perishables like food from supermarkets and cafes is a pervasive problem. This essay will discuss the reasons why this is taking place and what possible solutions there are to help eradicate this problem. Okay, we've not repeated ourselves too much, we've paraphrased, we've laid out what we're going to do in the essay. I think that's a strong start. Lovely. Okay, so let's start then with the reasons why. Let's have a look. So why are people throwing away the food? Well, they're simply buying and ordering too much. So this issue, we need our topic sentence to lay out what we're going to argue. This issue stems from, or is a result of individuals buying too much food from shops. It's okay to say the words from the question here and there. As long as we're not repeating ourselves too much, then that's the main thing. Okay, so the issue is a result of individuals buying too much food from shops. And additionally, ordering a surplus of food at a restaurant. A surplus means too much. Another way of saying too much. Okay, so let's dive into this problem a bit more now. Why are people doing this? So we can unpack this a bit more. Maybe currently we could talk about online shopping, little free time outside of work, and what that can lead to. So we'll start with shops. When examining families' food shopping habits, it is clear that maybe that's due to members or due to longer working hours and maybe societal pressures. I don't know, like the commuting if you have to commute, or just time being taken up in the week with other things if you have kids. Maybe we can say, and other pressures. There is little time, or there is not always enough time to make regular trips to buy food. This then, so now we're talking about, well, what happens then? So this then results in families, or results in maybe online shopping or bulk buying. That's a good phrase. That means buying lots and lots at one time. And this could lead to food going off, or even online shopping or bulk buying. Let's address online shopping actually first. This could lead to food being replaced in an order through the internet and perhaps not being used. So we get the replacements, and then we might not, well, we didn't order this, so it just doesn't get used. Or simply food or fresh goods going off, expiring maybe. And inevitably being thrown out, or disposed of, being disposed of. Okay, so we're discussing what happens when families, why is this happening with the supermarkets? Let's now touch on the restaurants as well. Dining out also causes food waste. What are the reasons for this? You might want to try something new. You might want to take a risk, or it's a special occasion. You don't want people to go hungry. Dining out also causes food waste for many reasons, including trying new, I like a brackets sometimes, and potentially not enjoying and risky food that may not be finished, perhaps. Dining out can also cause food waste for many reasons, including trying new and risky foods. Maybe we'll pluralize that. That may not be finished. Ordering extra for a special occasion. Or simply perhaps not wanting to, or fearing going hungry maybe, or simply thinking that too much is better than too little. Okay, should we have a read of this back and see how we feel? This issue is a result of individuals buying too much food from shops and additionally ordering a surplus of food at a restaurant. Currently, when examining families' food shopping habits, it is clear that due to longer working hours and other pressures, there is not always enough time to make regular trips to buy food, or we could say to restock the fridge, maybe is a different way of saying that. This then results in online shopping or bulk buying, and this could lead to food being replaced in an order through the internet and perhaps not being used, we could say utilised, or simply fresh goods expiring and inevitably being disposed of. Dining out also causes food waste for many reasons, including trying new and risky foods that may not be finished, ordering extra for a special occasion, or simply thinking that too much is better than too little. Then let's round this up, round this back to the question. So why do you think people waste a lot of food? This all contributes to the waste problem. Okay, so we're linking back, and that's why editing is so important here. Okay, so now let's think about what can be done. We're thinking education. Okay, so let's tackle that first. Chronic buying and over ordering, that's a good way of saying we just buy without really thinking. Is a phenomenon, we're making sure we're spelling this correctly, phenomenon that can be tackled by education. So we want to spread awareness, possible strategies, to reduce food waste. Could be spreading awareness of famine and food shortages around the world. There we go. How about full stop there? This could be a government initiative, perhaps. Initiative. And then we could mention perhaps social media. That could be, and maybe in schools as well. That could be pushed in schools. and social media could be a tool as well. So yes, we can spread awareness through this. And then we could say, meanwhile, while this is happening, there could be more financial information and support on budgeting, and perhaps with a free online course, for example. So meanwhile, more maybe financial information and support on how to budget for the weekly shop, for the food shop, would be invaluable for everybody, really, for all members of society. We could start it in schools and then work up students and families, perhaps in the form of an online and be a free online course, so the information is accessible. This would help. Let's tie this up now. So this would help with a cultural shift, if you like, of this idea of overbuying and overeating. This would assist with a cultural shift towards buying less in shops and restaurants. And go towards reducing it's difficult to always paraphrase food waste, and go towards reducing this problem. Let's see if we've repeated ourselves too much there. Chronic buying and over-ordering is a phenomenon that can be tackled by education. Possible strategies to reduce food waste could be spreading awareness of famine and food shortages around the world. This could be a government initiative that would be pushed in schools and social media. Can also, we're just changing our repetition there, can also be a tool as well. Meanwhile, more financial information and support on how to budget for the food shop would be invaluable for all members of society, perhaps in the form of a free online course so the information is accessible. This would assist with a cultural shift towards buying less in shops and restaurants and go towards reducing this problem. Okay, so we've had our topic sentence, our explanation, and then we're linking it back to the question. In this second one, it was addressing this question, and the first one was addressing the first one here. Okay then, so let's talk about our conclusion. We want to keep this short and to the point. In conclusion, there are many reasons why members or why society is throwing away food, such as bulk buying. Full stop. We can say something like, even so, there are possible solutions to this, such as spreading awareness of the issue through education. Okay then, let's have a look and see how many words we have here. So we're aiming for a minimum, there's no upper limit, but a minimum of 250 words. Okay, so my calculations. This is coming out at 316 words. So that's a good amount that's achievable in the exam. And you can see how we've structured this essay here today, so you can, if you're following along at home, then you can think of your own examples, tailor it to you, but at least you have the structure here, so you can work with that. Okay, so that was our first topic today, all about food waste. Let's go to our next topic, and this is going to look at sports in the context of school life. So the question here: some people believe that sports are an essential part of school life and help to keep children healthy, while others feel that sports are a waste of time that could be better spent on academic studies. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Okay, so this is an opinion question. We are expected to give our opinion here, but we're also expected to discuss both views. Okay, so we want one paragraph per view, and then there are different ways of tackling these types of questions. It's quite nice to keep it to a 4-paragraph structure and interweave your opinion into the paragraph that you are arguing for this essay. And I'll show you how to do that today. So what are the two views then? So one view is sports are an essential part of school life, help keep children healthy. The other view, they're a waste of time that could be better spent on academic studies. Ooh, okay, two sides of the coin there. So then, let's go to our plan. Very important part. So I like to, for the opinion questions, it's quite nice to start off with the side that you are not arguing for. In other words, that you don't agree with. And then in the second paragraph body, you want to include the side that you are arguing for, and it will leave the essay on the notes that you are in favour for. It just feels a bit nicer to end that way rather than with the side that you're not agreeing with. I think it makes for a stronger argument here. So okay, what is the side that I'm not agreeing with for the sake of this essay, I might add. It doesn't always have to be your own opinions, it's fine to think otherwise. But I think it's going to be easier to argue that sports are essential. Therefore, I'm going to disagree with sports are a waste of time, and let's talk about that first. So we'll say there is an opinion that sports can leave students feeling perhaps distracted. It might be too much of a time commitment that can take away from studies. Students also pursue sports outside of education, so it might seem unnecessary. Side of school. Okay, so we can definitely think of some examples there. So then I'm going to agree with the side that it is essential, and why. Students are happier. Exercise is proved to increase our dopamine, serotonin levels. Well-rounded. This has knock-on effects with their other subjects. Actually, exercise can promote more focus. When students they're less fidgety, less agitated in class because they've been able to run around. They get to try different sports, which is really important. They might find a passion there. So yes, we'll argue that health and fitness is critical part of a well-rounded education. Yes, okay, and of course keeps children healthy. Brilliant. So conclusion then, sports, we want to just restate our point, are essential. Well, actually, we want to note the other point as well. So even though students can get distracted, sports are essential, and then we'll state some reasoning there. Lovely. Okay, so we've got our 2 paragraphs. We're going to, some you might think that you want to write a 3rd paragraph with your opinion, but I actually think it's nicer and smoother and more succinct to put your opinion in with the paragraph as you're going along. So we will make sure that we use our opinion phrases in this paragraph just to hammer the point home, and we'll be very clear with that. Okay then, so let's go to our write-up, and just like with the last question, we want to paraphrase this particular sentence. Okay, so some people believe that sports are an essential part of school life and help keep children healthy. Let's start with that one first. So it is argued that taking part in activities such as sports, it's hard to paraphrase sports, is vital, essential for children's well-being and education. Another way of saying school life and keeping children healthy. Maybe we can flip them around actually. For children's education, when we're making sure our spelling is okay as we're going along, and well-being. Okay, while others feel that sports are a waste of time that could be better spent on academic studies. Okay, however, on the other hand, different groups express the thought that time spent in this capacity is not beneficial, as this energy could be maybe utilized in academia. Let's read this back. It is argued that taking part in activities such as sports is vital for children's education and well-being. However, on the other hand, different groups express the thought that time spent in this capacity is not beneficial, as this energy could be utilized in academia. Okay, what are we going to do in this essay? This essay will argue, will maybe examine both sides of this. We've used argument of both sides, and argue that sports are critical, another way of saying vital or essential, in children's development. Okay, so then we're stating what this essay is going to look at as well. Let's have a look at this. This essay will examine both sides and argue that sports are critical in children's development. All right then, so let's go into our first point of main body then. We're going to look at the other side. So we're not going to start off with our arguments. We're going to look at the other point of view. So on one hand, maybe Oh, we've used hand here actually. So on one side, there is an opinion that sports enable or encourage time away from book learning and are, maybe we could talk about just being natural distractions, or sports encourage time away from book learning and are a distraction for young learners, for young students. Okay, that's our topic sentence. Now let's go into the explanation, and we'll use an example. Perhaps we'll talk about a student being on a sports team. Perhaps, or maybe if an individual is on a sports team, like basketball or something like that, like basketball, for instance, this time commitment might affect, when we want to say other subjects that are at the core of education, academic subjects, might affect other subjects that are at the core of education. Let's do an example such as mathematics and science. And why? So for this view, on this side, we're arguing that these are actually more subjects that are more worthwhile to invest your time. These integral topics are what enable students to be successful in life after school, such as apprenticeships. We can talk about apprenticeships, or university. And let's link this back to the question. So we want to say, therefore, sports is sort of taking time away from these really important subjects. These integral topics are what enable students to be successful in life after school, such as apprenticeships, such as with apprenticeships or university, and therefore sport is seen as an unnecessary extra or a supplement that students can pursue maybe outside of school regardless. So you don't have to, you can still do sports just outside of school. Then we could say something like let's do a full stop here. We're creating a long sentence. Therefore, sport is seen as an unnecessary supplement that students can pursue outside of school regardless. So sports in school is, we can say, redundant. No, there's no use for it. Okay, let's have a read back. On one side, there is an opinion that sports encourage time away from book learning and are a distraction for young students. If an individual is on a sports team, like basketball for instance, this time commitment might affect other subjects that are at the core of education, such as mathematics and science. These integral topics are what enable students to be successful in life after school, such as with apprenticeships or university. Therefore, sports is seen as an unnecessary supplement that students can pursue outside of school regardless. So, sports in school is redundant. I think it might be nice to end this last sentence with just a really short one. Sports in school is redundant. There we go. We're just hammering the point home and making sure that we can show the examiner that, okay, this is not what we're arguing, but we can still lay out a good paragraph displaying the information here. Okay, so with that in mind then, let's go to the paragraph that we are going to argue for. Okay. However, maybe with this in mind, it is clear that taking part in school is not a waste of time. So we want to absolutely discredit this argument now. It is clear that taking part in school is not a waste of time. In fact, it only benefits students' overall happiness and contributes to a healthy lifestyle. Okay, so we're linking the paragraphs and then we're going in with our opinion and our topic sentence there. Okay, so we want to say that sports and a healthy lifestyle can only positively impact other aspects, including academia. Okay, so let's go down the route of the benefits of exercise. Are well known. We can talk about the serotonin levels, maybe both for body and mind. Both for body and mind. Increased if children are exposed to exercise, this will lead to increased serotonin levels, and they are more likely to apply themselves in all aspects of school life, including academia. Keep children healthy, essential part of school life. Let's have a look. So where could we go from here? We could talk about what else does sport provide that keeps children healthy? Skills that sports encourage, like teamwork and communication, are vital for all subjects and success in life. So we want to say that they are critical for everything in all subjects and in life. And then we could talk about children just being able to try different sports. The allowing allowing young people to try different sports should not be underestimated. Oh, underestimated. Oh, let's have a look. We're checking our spelling throughout. This can increase confidence and they might discover a passion. You never know. All points considered, we want to say, thinking about everything. All points considered, health and fitness, another way of saying sports, health and fitness is crucial in a well-rounded education and sets students up for with we want to say they've got more experience in all different aspects. If they've tried lots of different sports and they have health and fitness knowledge, students up not only to be healthy but be happy members of school and society. Okay, let's have a read of this back. However, with this in mind, it is clear that taking part in school is not a waste of time. In fact, it only benefits students' overall happiness and contributes to a healthy lifestyle. The benefits of exercise are well known, both for body and mind. If children are exposed to exercise, this will lead to increased serotonin levels, and they are more likely to apply themselves in all aspects of school life, including academia. Skills that sports encourage, like teamwork and communication, are vital for all subjects and success in life. Allowing young people to try different sports should not be underestimated. This can increase confidence and they might discover a passion. All points considered, health and fitness is crucial in a well-rounded education and sets students up for not only to be healthy but be happy members of school and society. Happy, maybe successful in terms of their happiness leads to success. You're more likely to be doing what you want to do if you're happier. Okay, so let's think about our conclusion then. We could say maybe while some students become distracted by sports, it is abundantly, that's a good word, it is obviously clear, it is abundantly clear that it is that this is essential for health and the most and a more rewarding school experience, which undoubtedly this undoubtedly benefits the student enormously, This undoubtedly benefits the students enormously. Okay, so we're just restating what we've talked about in the essay and sort of bit more broad strokes here. But that's good. We've got our two sides, but we've clearly woven in our example into the second paragraph, and then we've talked about that in the conclusion again. So I like to have the opinion in the second one. I think it makes for a bit of a stronger structure there. Okay, let's see how many words this is coming to. So we're looking for 250. Right, so this comes to 329 words. So it is slightly higher than the last essay that we looked at, but again, this is you can see the structure, so you can think about what you would do at home if this is achievable for you. I think it's with this structure, I think if you've got a good plan in place, then you're more likely to be hitting the higher word count there. But there we go, there we have it. So task 2 questions today, 2 different topics, both topics that could come up in the exam. So I hope that's been helpful, and we always love to hear from you. So let us know if you've got any questions or comments, and we will see you next time.